Inspire with Nendrix, the foundation.
Hey, welcome back. Come on into this space. What are you doing right now? Do you have 5 minutes for me? Okay, so stop what you're doing. Come into this space. I want to take 5 minutes of your time. This is Dr. Harrison with Your Best Life, and I have a 5-minute quickie for you. So I just facilitated this dialogue around group norms, and I thought maybe I should come to the channel and share some of those things. I only have 5 minutes, so I'm going to give you like a really quick, quickie. So group norms, so we're talking about establishing these rules and these guidelines that helps your team, your organization achieve success. We know that when we're going to these new spaces, right? You're invited into these new spaces, and unless you understand what the norm is in that new space, like you don't really know how to operate. And oftentimes you might be in those spaces and you operate in a way that you're used to in previous spaces, and then you find out that you're violating, right? You're not doing it right. You're not, connecting with people in the way that they're used to being connected to. And so it's really important that we establish what those group norms are so that success can happen. Success can be achievable in these new spaces. So in terms of forming teams, it's critical for you to establish some group norms. Group norms are the guidance that basically gives us the rules on how we should behave, right? As adults, you would think that is something that we don't need, right? We're adults. We know how to behave. We know how to act, properly, in spaces. But no, we need to have those group norms, because regardless of the fact that, we are adults, we come into those spaces and not understanding what works in that space and how do you get to consensus? Do you want consensus? What is the expectations for the leadership in that space? What are the expectations for those individuals that are following? What are the expectations for the times of meetings? Is it during the day? Is it at night? How long should those meetings be? Should the space be confidential? Is the things that we say in this space to be, kept in this space, or should it be shared outside of this space? So there are a few things that you should establish, when you're creating a team, creating some body of individuals that's trying to achieve a goal, and, really establish and, together as a collective, not norms that's been created by someone else and that you're trying to adapt. Now, if those norms work for you, then that's fine. But if these are norms that have already been established, from another team, or maybe from another, group of individuals who were in the same kind of team, but it just doesn't fit the culture and the personality of the people in that space, then you might want to make some adjustments to those norms and agree to that. And so in order for me, I believe that if you want to get some early buy-in, you want to ensure that there are full participation, that people are respectful of each other's opinions, in those space, establishing what those group norms are and what it means to have that norm in that space is important. When do you do those group norms? Listen, you can do those group norms at the very beginning, or you can establish those group norms as time has gone by and you've had an opportunity to get to know one another. I recommend, as a team lead, to establish those group norms in the very beginning, because if you don't, it'll make it a little more difficult later on down the line to implement those group norms, right? Establishing the ground rules for this space and what is accepted and what's not accepted. The other thing is, when you're establishing these group norms, don't forget that as a leader of that team, right? You might be the leader, you might have brought the team together. Doesn't mean that you're not accountable also. So while the team are talking about expectations amongst one another and what I should expect from them, if you want buy-in and support and you want people to trust you, you also have to establish what they can expect from you as a lead and how you can be held accountable at the same time. So establishing group norms for teams, small group, organizations, whatever that is really critical to the success of that team and achieving the business of the day. So that was my quickie for you today. Establish those group norms and establish them early so that you can achieve the success that you're looking for. Go out in the community and embrace someone. They are waiting on you, and continue to live your absolute best life.
My Lacasa boy, this is my residence. My prescription boy, this is my medicine. The world can be sickening, living in house resemblance. Not to mention the media's effort to keep us in the most simplistic state of mind. Lowest age bracket committing the highest rate of crime.